Hi, welcome back to the Zebra Project series. My name's Hayley Cross. I'm a Senior Associate in the Growth team. I'm here with David Flanders, who's the CEO of Agrimetrics. We've been at the Zebra Project discussion this afternoon talking about AI entrepreneurship in the UK. David, thank you very much. Do you want to start by telling us a little bit about Agrimetrics?
Certainly, Agrimetrics is a startup with initial government backing for Innovate UK, and we're a big data organisation, and our main mission is to show the advantage of data right across the agricultural and food sector to increase productivity, sustainability, and help UK PLC and inspire the sector for the use of data.
Great, thank you. And one of the things we were talking about today, by your own admission, is that farming is a very traditional sector. I guess similar to law, they're not the most obvious people that are going to embrace technology. So how do we overcome those barriers?
It's interesting because it's a bit of a paradox, and that's the common perception that because it's farming, it's not involved in technology. The ultimate irony is it's massively involved in technology. So tractors, combine harvesters are almost self-driving, there's masses of information, lots of Internet of Things. In fact, one could almost say that farmers have got too much technology and they're not pulling it together, and therein lies the problem. I've been into farms where they've got 3 different computer systems in their office because they don't talk to each other. And I think that's where Agrimetrics comes in. And there's a lot of data across the whole agri-food system, not just in farms, and it's pun intended, it's all very siloed. And it's linking together and it's pulling it together. And it's getting farmers, for example, to benchmark. How am I doing compared with my neighbours or people growing crops in a similar environment to I am, or maybe somebody with cattle at the other end of the country but a similar soil type or a similar climate? How is my milk doing through the cheese production, whatever? And so pulling data together is the key, and releasing information from pulling together data that sort of unexpectedly may give you some interesting results, or expectedly. But as you say, it's part of the barrier because farmers traditionally looked over their gate, talked to markets, whatever. Yeah. More and more of them, particularly the younger generation of farmers, are using the internet, for example. I was speaking to a farmer recently and he said literally, if he's got a problem on the farm, he tweets and within an hour he's got 200 answers. And I think so, even though it is a traditional sector, it's sort of self-selecting in a way that more and more innovation is taking place. Internet of Things is having a major role in farms. But then, of course, you get into connectivity and rural problems to do with broadband, etc. So that when the technology comes onto the farm, it's how that connects. And then from my perspective, and from Agrimetrics' perspective, the data that's generated, how's the best for the farmer and everybody else within the food system to get their data and pull it together and find useful information from that and increase productivity. And part of Agrimetrics' remit is also sustainability. We rely on the soils. The soils are wearing out effectively, so we have to, with a growing population, less land worldwide, we have to produce more food, but more sustainably. And I think data is going to underpin that sort of gentle revolution that's got to take place for the planet, basically.
That's really interesting. And one of the things you were saying earlier was that some of the farmers in this country have had a bad experience of the way in which their data has been used previously.
Yes.
So how do you overcome that, and whose responsibility is it to make sure that data is being shared in the most efficient way?
I think the things to take away from today is that Agrimetrics, as its core, is a data platform which uses various forms of artificial intelligence, and that's being used in many other sectors. Some of the opportunities we see in Agrimetrics and the agri-food sector are seen across other sectors, and also some of the problems. So it's good. I think this session's been really useful in the fact it's educated me. I think all the panel learned something from everybody else's panel. I certainly did. I've exchanged business cards with everybody. Can you come and talk to us for a day? And from things like procurement, from Eleanor talking about procurement, through David talking about a really exciting startup, and through to Martin talking about the government aspects. And I think that's actually very important. And I think often in business, particularly smaller business, one forgets the role of government. And Agrimetrics has initial government funding from Innovate UK. And you can actually see that UK PLC is, at its best, is really driven and helped driven by sensible government policy. And I think we saw some of that today, as well as the entrepreneurial spirit, which has always driven the UK. And I think it's going to drive forward the UK as a leader in artificial intelligence.